Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Behind the Look. Today I've got the lovely Taylah in the house.
Hey guys.
Welcome. What kind of look are you going for today?
A nice base, that's probably a good point. A nice base, but like I usually do like wing, like maybe like if you want to do like a smoky like wing vibe, if that's something you like to do.
I was stalking your Insta to look at your eye colour because I was like, your eye colours pop like all the time in all your photos. So I was like,
you.
Yes. So just priming the face now, and then I think we'll go straight into the brows and eyes, just because that way we can let the primer sink in and then reduce any fallout. Alright, so we're going in with the brows. Do you find being vulnerable easy?
I feel like I'm very open. I'm an open book when it comes to friends and family and people that I trust. But when it's people I don't know or like people on social media, I can find it a bit hard. Not that like I can't, it's just like the start, like to take off and then to be more vulnerable can be a bit scary. But it's something I want to start doing a bit more just to help break that stigma. And people being quiet about how they feel and all of that. I feel like it's important that we start just making that normal. So yeah. And you're like getting quite big as well on the socials. I've seen like I wouldn't say that. I've seen your like followers rise, right? And I was wondering like if that like sort of stops you or helps you want to become more vulnerable with such like an audience. Yeah, I think it's obviously scary, as I said before, to start doing that. But I think it's something I want to do and get that ball rolling, so then it just becomes a normal part of stuff that I post and talk about, because there's some topics that I'm obviously quite passionate about that I want to share to these people and hopefully help with educating and encouraging other people to do things. So yeah, that's what I want to start doing. I just don't know how to start.
So we've just set Taylor's brows with the NYX brow glue, one of my faves, because it like sticks them up.
It's good.
Like a lamination. And I'll clean up the brows with the MAC Paint Pot, and I'll also use this to prime the eyelids.
Oh my god, I haven't used that in so long. So do you feel like it's been fun doing people's makeup again?
Yeah, it's been great to, I guess, have my creative expression come out again.
Yeah, it's just in a very much more chilled environment when you're doing people's makeup now.
Yeah, compared to when it was like, as a job, I always stressed that I wasn't like good enough, so I'd be like, ugh.
And you stress like they're going to walk out and like, oh, I don't like
disappointed.
it. Which is never the case, but you always get scared and it's just like a pressure that you feel.
And you've had experience doing like work with makeup, haven't you?
Yeah, just when I, like in high school, it was very, very, what's the word? Casual. I literally was just charging like, I think it was like $30 or something for a full face of makeup, and it's just through family and friends and just like word of mouth pretty much. And yeah, it was kind of hard to keep up though, because you gotta buy all the products and find your clients and stuff. But it was fun, I liked it a lot. And yeah, I would do it again if I could, but got too many other things going on, you know?
What are you up to at the moment?
My life's a bit of a mess right now, I think. Not in a bad way, just it's just there's a lot going on. Like, I'm studying nursing, but I'm taking a gap year this year just for like mental health reasons and just, you know, focusing on me and doing things I need to do and traveling and saving up money so I can go into my third year, because I have a lot of placement to do and I know I won't be able to afford to go on placement unless I save up for it, which is quite crazy when you think about it. So I will have 3 jobs and it's really hard to fit them all in. It's like fitting a puzzle piece together, trying to organise my shifts of the week. But yeah, I just feel like I'm constantly working. But it's good. I feel like it's teaching me time management and organisation. So yeah, it's the benefits to it.
That's good that you can see like the positives out of sort of not like bad but stressful. Yeah, and overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be a bit overwhelming when I look at my week and I'm like, okay, I've got to be here at this time. Like, I feel like I have to set out my days by the hour to actually organise myself and know I'm not going to have any overlaps.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, it can get a bit stressful, but you make it through. And then that's one thing I have to do is always be busy, because if I'm not busy, I feel like I probably get more stressed, which is weird.
What made you want to go down nursing?
I've wanted to do. I actually want to be a paramedic, and I'm doing nursing just for all that extra degree and something to fall back on, and also if I find it hard to get a job as a paramedic, I can work as a nurse. But I wanted to be a paramedic since like year 10 when I did a first aid course, which was really random. I was just like, oh, like this is fun.
Pumping the dummy.
Yeah, just that, and just like, I don't know, I just felt I was so interested. Like everyone was like, oh, this day I want it to be over, but I was like enjoying it so much, and I was like, that's when I want to do paramedicine. And then yeah, I've got nursing almost done, and it's another year till I'm a paramedic after that. But I don't know if I'll go straight into doing that extra year yet.
Or explore.
I might just stay. I have to do a grad year anyway, so I can't be studying while I'm doing a grad year. What's the look we're going for?
So we've got like browns. I'll incorporate browns and then do the smoky wing, I reckon.
Yeah,
as well. So
I'm
sort
excited.
of bring it out.
I can't believe, like, do you remember the days where like we would do like full on cut creases and like that heavy makeup?
Yeah.
Like, and now it's just makeup so much more simple.
Oh, like most of the time I don't even wear it.
I know, yeah.
Or like my normal go-to will be like cream products and not even foundation.
And it would take like an hour to do your makeup, and now it takes like 20 minutes.
Literally.
It's a good change. I like it. I'm not mad about it because that was very stressful trying to cut a crease, you know?
Yep. Why do you think there was that change?
I don't actually know.
Like from adolescence to adulthood with our looks and stuff.
I think that it's like, I feel like now we're all trying to embrace being more natural, and that's becoming such a bigger priority. I don't know, I feel like everyone's just embracing the natural look, which is great. I feel like it just makes life like a lot more simple. I don't feel like we need all that makeup to prove ourselves.
That's lovely. So we're just blending out the smokiness of the wing. So getting into the vulnerable topics, I want to know when the last time you felt vulnerable.
I'm always...
You're always?
I feel like I'm always talking about like my struggles or what I'm dealing with in my head to people. I feel like it's almost an everyday occurrence. Which, that's why I was saying before, I feel like I'm an open book. I don't hide anything. So if I feel upset or I feel anxious about something, I will straight away go tell someone I care about, because I feel like I'm so open. So yeah, I don't find it hard to open up.
And what do you think like helped you become so open?
I think when I trust someone, I trust them to know exactly how I'm feeling. So, I don't know, I think I've just, because I know I've been through so much that I want whoever I'm talking to be able to do the same and open up about them and their struggles, so we can talk about it. Like, I don't want there to be like a barrier between me and another person. So that's why I try to be as vulnerable as possible.
And what would you say are those experiences that you've felt in the past that have led you into this state?
I feel like I've had a long road of anxiety and depression and mental health struggles. So I think from a young age, when I started to get these things started to show up in my life, I was finding myself having to talk about it. And then I don't know, it just made me want other people to be able to share their own struggles too.
So what is like one of the hardest experiences you've ever gone through?
The hardest experience that I've ever been through was about 2 years ago, when I was sexually assaulted to a point where I was in hospital and had the police involved, and it was a very traumatic experience for me and people around me. I've probably never been so low in my entire life, and a big part of that is how I felt like I was perceived by everyone else, and the backlash that I received from other people, you know, and people that I thought were my friends as well. That was the hardest part. Like, you know, feeling like you have support from people, but also finding out later on and things showing up later on that it was quite the opposite of that, which really does hurt. But yeah, I think going through that experience though, I've come to a place now that I'm okay. It's still like it's something I'll never go over, and it's something that traumatizes me still. But I feel like I want to start opening up about it more, and that's something that I thought would be good to talk about today, because I've been scared to talk about it online and bring awareness to it for myself, because I know that there's still a lot of backlash and a lot of things that are scary when it comes to talking about this.
Yeah.
But I just want to inspire other women to feel like they can speak up, and so they know that they can get through something like that. And there's so many, unfortunately, other women who have been through the same thing, and I want to be someone that people can feel safe to talk to about their experiences. And you know, my inbox is always open for anyone who feels like they have no one to go to because they are scared of what people might say. And I want people to be able to come to me, and you know, I'm sure there's many other like yourself, like people want to come to you and you know, catch up, just to talk about it and like see what you can do to get better, because I know that you can get better. It's just such a scary and intense feeling to have that, like feel like everyone's eyes are on you, like it's so
and here
scary.
I am like staring at you while you're saying that, but like but like it is true. It is true. It is just like, because no one should ever experience something like that, there is no way to tell how an individual will respond to that certain situation, and we're gonna just say it is sexual assault, or it is rape, or it is you know, it's not just a situation, it's not just something that happened to me, because it's actually something that is way fucking like intense than just something, you know? It
literally consumes you for so long.
And it'll continue to, like for the rest of your life, you'll still be triggered. There'll be things that remind you, but yeah, it's
definitely such a difficult topic to go around as well. Like, and you can't just obviously talk about it to anyone. It's a very specific and touchy subject, so you never know who you can and can't bring it up to. But that's why I want it to be more normal to talk about this, so then women are not scared and feel like they have no one to go to, because that's the worst part, when you feel alone. And I feel like, you know, us talking about it now, and like many other women have, like it would just help make it more normalized and like show other women that they can speak about it, because it's so scary.
There is a lot of shame that surrounds like shame, guilt, blame, and why? Like,
it's the guilt thing is what doesn't get me. Like, you find ways to feel guilty. And
it wasn't even your fault.
And like people just think that they know what happened, and people talk about it like, oh no, like this is what happened. Like, how does anyone know what happened unless you're talking to the person who actually went through it themselves? Like, people, like I've just heard so many stories of like my, like, you know, another account of what happened to me when that wasn't at all what happened.
And what gives them the right?
That's why I don't get it. And that's what frustrates me, and I never really understood it until I've been through it myself.
And from this experience, what did you learn from it?
I just learned that you're a lot stronger than you think you are. And I didn't think that I would get through an experience like that. Like, it just seemed all too hard. Like, I didn't want to get out of bed. I couldn't go to uni and do my studies. Like, I felt scared to go out in public because I felt like people were talking about me right in front of me. But you get to a point where you realize you're so strong and you can get through anything that you just put your mind to. Start focusing on yourself, starting from the start, just starting with small tasks like getting out of bed, having a shower, going for a walk, seeing a friend, just like small tasks that make you start to feel normal again.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you're just used to like dealing, you've got it in the back of your mind, but you know how to manage it and it doesn't take over you like it once did. I think that's what I've learned. Like, you literally can get through anything, and I didn't think I could.
Did that take a bit of time for you to like get to that point?
Yeah, it did. I feel like I've now got to a point where I don't constantly, it doesn't bring me down. But I think it took me a while to not think that, like, it almost became like I was going insane. Like, I feel like I would walk into a room and I could hear people talking about me. I could hear them say my name.
Yeah.
Like, I was having like flashbacks and seeing things that aren't there, like in a PTSD. Like, it just showed up like that. And the scariest thing was the walking around. Like, literally, I remember walking around in like a suburb in the area, and I saw people. Like, no, I don't think I can't remember if it was someone I knew. But I swear I could hear them talking about me in the situation. Like, obviously they're not. Like, that's just not something they would be doing. But I swear I could hear it, and it just consumes you so much.
Yeah. I remember, like, from when I went through my sexual assault.
Yeah.
During year 12, and then I had to go into school. It was the first, and I made sure like I was arriving late because I was like, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I had like a full-on panic attack.
Wow.
And like I was like, well, what is this feeling? Because I haven't never felt this before. But
I know, how scary is it?
Yeah.
Do you feel like your legs felt weak? Dizzy?
I was like I couldn't breathe. Like like my chest was like caving in.
It's horrible. And you probably wouldn't have known how to deal with it at the time.
No way.
You'd be like, what the hell's going on with me?
Yeah. And I'm like, something just isn't right. But then again, so much just happened overnight that wasn't right.
Yeah, of course. It's hard to deal with it when you're in a situation like that and you don't even know what is actually happening in your body.
You don't have the tools.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, like, I feel like when you go through an experience like this, and sorry, I keep saying experience, but it's fucking sexual assault.
I know, we try to tiptoe around the word, but we just should be able to say what happened.
And I reckon it is because of the stigma.
Yeah, it is, 100%. There's so much stigma surrounding the topic. Sexual assault.
Yeah, yes. And, like, do you think it's, like, the blaming from other people?
Yeah.
That, like,
I feel like people just try to blame the victim because it's easier. Like, if they are friends with the person or they know the person, that's like the easiest option for them.
Yeah.
To just hide the truth and just turn a blind eye to the situation. And I think that's why there's a lot of stigma.
Well, what do you want to, like, now that you've sort of not healed, essentially, because I don't think we can ever really heal from this, but what do you want to, like, is there something that you want to do in regards to the sexual assault that happened to you?
I have thought about creating like an Instagram or a page to create a community of some kind for women who have been through the same thing, and just to create a safe space for women. And, like, you know, just feel like there's no judgments. There's everyone in that page or in that group have been through the same thing, and like organize like small events and like just like catch ups and just all women that have been through the same thing, just to be with people who understand them. But it's not necessary to talk about it, it's just to be with people who understand you probably in a different way to your family and friends who haven't been through the same thing can.
Because you can feel so alone.
Yeah.
It's very isolating, I remember that.
Yeah, of course. You know just as much. It's just, yeah. And then people probably just forget about it because it's normal. Like, people have their own issues, their own lives to deal with, but it's something that will never leave your mind. And that's when it can kind of feel a bit lonely.
And how come you haven't created this platform yet?
Because I've been scared. I've been like scared to talk about it. This is the first time I've really publicly spoken about it.
Thank you for like using this space to do so.
Of course. I feel like I trust you, and this feels like a really safe space to talk about it. And yeah, this is why I haven't done it, because I've just been scared about more backlash, which is something that was really affecting me when this happened. And it's something that I'm still scared about, but I know that me just being quiet is not going to help anyone.
And when do you want to get that up and running?
Well,
or no time limit?
There's no time, but like I feel like this chat is going to get the ball rolling and like open those doors a bit. It's kind of like a little practice of being vulnerable about the topic.
And you're doing so amazing at it.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your story.
Of course, thank you.
So with going onto social media, do you feel like there's pressure in like how you have to sort of present yourself all the time? Or the way you talk? Like, again, how you were saying you're a bit scared to talk about that.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said there was no pressure. There's definitely, you feel like there are eyes and people that can say things, and I think that's the problem. Like, we should be able to talk about things that are important to us without feeling like we're being judged. Same with everything you talk about with like filters and people manipulating their images and stuff like that. Like, that is something like that I know is still a huge part of social media. And you just find yourself comparing yourself to others, and you know, that's something I've really tried to tell myself whenever I'm, you know, on Instagram or something. Like, it's just like people are just showing the best parts of themselves, and everyone is going through struggles and hardships in their lives. So I don't need to think that, oh, why am I dealing with all this stuff and this person isn't? Like, everyone is. That's I think the main issue. Do you fall into the trap of comparison? Not as much anymore. I feel like I did a lot when I was growing up. I feel like when we were probably younger, and by younger I even mean a couple of years ago, we were so oblivious to the fact that we could have been just seeing people's highlight reels and that people are editing their photos. Like, I just feel like we're so naive to the fact, like, oh, like this person, like we'd think like, oh, that person looks like that for sure.
They look so hot.
Like, look at that. Like, they have no cellulite, they got like no fat on them, like this is what, like that's what they look like. But now I think we know that things can be manipulated so easily. So I think you take everything with a grain of salt. When you did used to like go into that trap of comparison, how did you help yourself get out of it? I don't know. I feel like I just was honest with myself, and like, because I know that when I would post stuff, it'd be like, okay, I'm just posting, I got 50 photos and this is the best one I got. I know that everyone was doing that. So I think I kind of just like started to be more real and be like, okay, there's more to that photo. Like, that person could have been crying before that, but they just don't like how they look, and then they get a photo and then they post it. Like, and I think I put myself in the position of, I know what I've been like in times, like, you know, I could feel really horrible about myself and be like just not feeling good about myself, and then post a photo and then think like, oh, like once I realized that other people are doing that too, I thought it was just me, or like, you know, you just forget. And that was like obviously a while back when I started to realize that. But yeah, now I think more than ever is like the time where you just you just look at everything from that perspective of this is just the best part. Like there's nothing.
Yeah, it is just a highlight reel.
Yeah. I haven't worn fake lashes in ages.
Yeah. What do you usually like do with your lashes? Do you get extensions or like lifts?
No, I've kind of like stopped getting extensions because I felt like they were just so expensive to keep up or so. And then when I think it was during COVID maybe, I stopped getting them, and then my natural lashes kind of just like got to a length. I'm like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah, they're really like thick.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what I don't know. I think they just all fell out when I got extensions, and then now I just put mascara on them, and then I just get like a lift.
If you feel like it?
Yeah, if I'm like going away or something. But I'm just trying to like just save my money as much as possible. So I'd rather get my eyebrows done.
They really frame the face.
Yes, they're very important. And then I just like make up for it with mascara.
So when I upload this, I think I'm gonna collab post with you. Thoughts?
That sounds good.
I do aim to collab post with most of my guests.
Yeah, I like that idea because I want to start posting just some more real stuff, I guess. And also with the Instagram, I want to make. I feel like this is a good way to introduce it a little bit, like introduce a topic and introduce this concept, and then go from there. So
I think with the collab post, it's good because then also the people that are interested in you, like they follow you, they're your audience, they'll get a deeper insight as well into who you are.
Yeah, and that's something I feel like I haven't. I feel like I'm very quiet about myself on social media. So I feel like with this kind of stuff, and all my anxiety and things that, I always tend to veer on the side of caution. And that's something I want to change and like, you know, be able to just be like, no, like this is just what I feel, this is what I want to say, and then say it. And instead of being like, oh my god, no, like I don't want to be judged, or like talking about this topic, like I don't want to be judged, like oh my god, people are gonna like think this. Like I just don't want that to be a thought in my head.
We're very in our own minds in terms of wanting to just be true to ourselves.
I feel like I have so much to offer with when it comes to this, like these topics, and like, you know, feel like I could help people with certain things, and I just feel like I just kind of am so quiet on social media in that way. And yeah, it all comes from that fear.
Fear is an interesting thing. Why do you think it exists?
To protect us.
Yeah, since birth.
Yeah. And I was actually going to go back to the whole evolution and
Cavemen.
how, you know, so
fire. Oh, it's hot.
It's scary. Like there's, you know, as an intruder, like a big lion coming at you, like you're gonna be scared. Like,
and our like fight, freeze response
that's
kicks
why
in.
I'm not gonna go and just stand there and wave at the lion when it's coming towards you. You have a response, and that's to either run, freeze, or
fight.
That was
Fight.
I was like, why? Did I say fly?
No. I said you were thinking.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, no fly.
I'll spray your face.
Okay.
What's sorry, Bill, you whore. Whenever I think of that, when someone coughs like that.
Yeah. Okay.
What is your like fight, flight, freeze response?
Well, freeze.
Mine's freeze too.
Because that's what happened to me in that
same.
situation.
Same.
So
right.
freeze is apparently my go-to, and I didn't know that until I actually went and thought about it and thought about that situation, the sexual assault.
Yes.
And how I responded, and that's how I've learned what I do. And I think that freeze obviously is just like probably the more like anxious way to respond to a situation, I guess. What do you think? Like you're the same?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I don't even know why. Even when I cross the street, like cross the road, I'm like, oh, there's a car coming.
Yeah, or like, don't move.
Jimmy's like, and I'm like, why? Oh, but it's like I don't even understand how and why.
So do you feel like
is the thing.
Have you noticed that in other aspects of your life?
Oh yeah, so like crossing the road or like just like if a ball's coming at me, I'll just stop.
It's like you just shut down. It's easier to shut down than to run away or to fight it.
And there's obviously an underlying reason as to why.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're getting towards the end of the video.
Yeah.
So
I can't delve that deep into
maybe next time. Yeah. Maybe on her new social media.
Part 2. Oh yeah. That's what you're gonna say.
When you go live.
Yeah. Oh, scary.
I'll give you the mirror.
Oh my god. You did so well.
You like it?
Yes. Wow, I look so dolled up.
I know it's a bit.
This pimple looks like a mole. As in
like Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, like as in like it kind of looks like it's meant to be there.
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh my god, that looks so good.
You can look into that light too, because I know the shadow is a bit.
Yeah. Wow, my eyes look like they're
popping.
They're popping. Oh my god, you did so good. Thanks, Dal.
And that is the end of our episode. How are you feeling now, Taylah?
I feel good. I feel free. I feel like I've been broken out of a cage.
So glad. So glad. Now you're setting on this new path.
Yes.
Stuff.
It's so exciting.
Very cool. I will link all of Taylor's information below, and you can check her out. She's a really cool gal, and I'm really excited for your future.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Michelle. I love it. This is so fun.
Yay. Thank you, guys. Bye.
And the high pitched bye.
Bye.